Okay, so today we are starting off chapter 5 and 6 simultaneously. Now you might be wondering, sir, why would you do both these chapters together? Why would you do chapter 5 and chapter 6 together? Chapter 5 is accounting concepts. It's a complete theory chapter. And then we got chapter 6, which is sole traders. What has sole traders got to do with accounting concepts? What is the interconnection between chapter 5 and chapter 6? Let me tell you. Whatever the concepts you learn in chapter 5 is going to be tested as numbers in chapter 6. So if I'm to be brutally honest with you, chapter 6 and chapter 5, they are closely connected. They are like finger and nail. They are super connected to each other. As I explain you, you'll be able to clearly understand, Ade, what we learn in chapter 5, it comes to chapter 6. In chapter 5, we learn the concept, and in chapter 6, we put things into practical equations. We put things into technical number crunching scenarios. You get me? That's why when I posted the poster also, I told you that I'm starting off chapter 5 and 6 together. Right? Okay, now, before we take a deep dive into the subject, I would like to give you a little bit of an understanding about what we are going to do for the next few months we got. Okay, listen. Right now we are in chapter 5, aren't we? Right now we are in chapter 5. Chapter 5 is accounting concepts. After completing chapter 5, we'll be moving to chapter 6, sole traders. In my case, I'll be completing chapter 5 and 6 together. You heard me right? I'm going to complete chapter 5 and 6 together. Right. So now, sole trader. I'm 99% certain that you must have come across this term sole trader. Who's a sole trader? An individual who starts his business on his own, invests on his own, takes decisions on his own, takes all the risk on his own. When he gets a profit, he enjoys on its own. When he suffers a loss, he suffers it on its own. This is something you would have inevitably come across in chapter 4 business studies, right? So we need to understand sole trader will be preparing the financial statements. Sole trader, what is he going to do? He's going to prepare the financial statements. And by the way, when we were learning chapter 1, Introduction to Accounting, how many of you could remember? Please use the main chat box. Don't reply me individually. It's quite difficult to toggle between each and every tab. Would you mind letting me know in the main chat box? How many types of financial statements did we learn in chapter 1? How many types of financial statements did we learn in chapter 1? Yeah. How many were there? How many financial statements were there? Just tell me the numbers enough. You don't need to list them down. Tell me the numbers. How many financial statements were there? Very good. Very good, Shazna Mahroof. Well done, Hana. Yes, Aisha Seema. Very good. Yes, Shahra. Well done, Nada. Zuleha, Amika. Yes, it's 5. How many? There are 5 financial statements. Very good, Zainab and Nada. Right? So there are 5 financial statements, right? Okay. What are those? We got the income statement, right? Let me write them down. We got the income statement. We got SOFP. We got statement of changes in equity. We got statement of cash flows. And we also have notes and disclosures, right? So these are the 5 types of financial statements we should learn in the next few months we got, right? Oh, now wait. If you take these 5 financial statements, you need to understand not every business prepare all these 5 financial statements. Let me repeat. Not every business prepares all these 5 financial statements. Guess what happens? As far as a sole trader is concerned, sole trader will be preparing the income statement and SOFP among them. He's not going to prepare the statement of changes in equity. Neither is he going to prepare the statement of cash flow, nor is he going to prepare the notes and disclosures. So sole trader will be preparing the income statement and SOFP. So in chapter number 6, we will be learning how we are going to prepare the income statement and SOFP of a business that is categorized as sole traders. This is going to be chapter number 6. After completing chapter 6, we'll be having something called manufacturing accounts. We'll be having something called manufacturing accounts, or you can even call it the manufacturing cost statement. Here also, we will be preparing the income statement, and at times, not all the time, we might prepare the SOFP of a business that manufactures. Now, when it comes to sole trader, what do? They buy and sell. You know the term trade, right? You know the term trade. Trade means to buy and sell. Trade means to buy and sell. Whereas a manufacturing business, they do not buy and sell. What do? They produce and sell. For example, think of Damro. Damro produces furniture and sell. Now, businesses like Damro will prepare the income statement and SOFP. We will have to learn how those income statement and SOFP will be prepared of a manufacturing business. And then chapter 8 is going to be NPO. What is NPO? Not-for-profit organizations. Not-for-profit organizations. We should learn how these not-for-profit organizations prepare its income statement and SOFP in chapter number 8. And after completing chapter 8, chapter 9, we have something called incomplete records. Please excuse me, I'm going to skip this chapter for now. We don't want to know what incomplete records all about. After completing chapter 9, we'll be moving to chapter 10. Chapter 10 is about partnership business. You know what's a partnership business, right? Not one, but more than one. Between 2 to 20 people get together and start a business. We call it a partnership. We should also learn how the income statement and SOFP of a partnership is prepared in chapter number 10. So you can clearly see one thing in common among all these chapters. In all these chapters, what we are going to do, we are going to prepare the financial statements of sole trader, financial statements of manufacturing business, financial statements of NPO, and then financial statements of partnership. You see, what do we prepare? We prepare the financial statements. So from this point onwards, it's all about preparing the financial statements. And I must say, it's one of the most interesting things you could do in accounting. Preparing the financial statement is something super interesting when you understand the fundamentals. You'll love it. Trust me, you'll love it, right? And then chapter number 11 and 12, I'll put them together. Chapter number 11 and 12 is all about companies. Now the big lad, you know him, right? Everyone is pretty much frightened about this guy. Who's it? The companies, right? When you hear this term, everyone is like, wow, commerce is all about companies. Accounting, the most challenging chapter in accounting is companies, and companies is a compulsory question. You might have seen your seniors giving a big exaggeration on this chapter, companies. And when it comes to companies, guess what? We'll be preparing the income statement. We'll be preparing the SOFP. We'll be preparing the statement of changes in equity. We'll be preparing the notes. Now, do you understand? In companies, we'll be preparing more statements. Until partnership, we are just dealing with the phase 2 statements. Can you see? In the sole trader phase 2 statements, manufacturing phase 2, NPO phase 2, partnership also phase 2. But when we move to chapter number 11 and 12, we'll be preparing ideally 3 statements along with notes. We'll be preparing income statement. We'll be preparing SOFP. We'll also be preparing statement of changes in equity, which is new, which is going to be new, right? And we will also be preparing notes, which is also going to be something new, right? So in companies, you will be able to see we are preparing 4 statements, right? So what are we missing out? What are we missing out? Income statement, of course, we have it. SOFP, of course, we get exposed to it. Statement of changes in equity, we are going to get exposed to it in chapter number 11 and 12. Notes, we are going to get exposed to it in chapter number 11 and 12. The only statement that is missing is statement of cash flow. Now, all of you might be wondering, Ade, where this statement of cash flow comes. Statement of cash flow wasn't there in sole traders. It wasn't tested in manufacturing, not in NPO, not in partnership. Guess what? It is not even tested in companies. Then where else on earth statement of cash flow is going to be tested? Statement of cash flow, listen to me. Statement of cash flow is going to be tested as a separate chapter, chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 is a separate chapter specifically assigned for statement of cash flow. I hope you can get an outline. I believe you are getting the picture now. This is the pathway that I'm going to go through. This is the journey that I should undertake, right? From chapter 5, right? I'm going to take a journey. I'm going to learn about sole traders. I'm going to prepare the statements of sole trader. I'm going to learn about manufacturing business. I'm going to prepare the statements of it. NPO, statements of it. Partnership, statements of it. Companies, the big lad, statements of it. And then a separate statement in and of itself comes as chapter 13. And I'm going to do that that is statement of cash flow. What is it? That is statement of cash flow. So do you see how it goes? Right? Amazing. How many units are there totally? There are 16 units. There are 16 units. I've gone up to 13. Maria Minushan, I've gone up to 13. After, I'll give you that too, yeah? After chapter 13, it is management accounting. Until this place, what is it? It's financial accounting, right? Financial accounting, financial accounting, financial accounting, financial accounting, financial accounting. Answer me. From chapter number 2 until now, what we've been doing? We've been doing financial accounting. Remember, in chapter number 1, we categorized accounting into 2 components. Yeah, we got the financial accounting. We've got management accounting, right? From chapter number 2 until chapter number 13, Mariam, we are going to deal with financial accounting. After chapter 13, chapter 14, 15, 16 is going to be management accounting. So if we are to finalize the syllabus, how many chapters do we have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 more chapters to go. And by the way, if I'm to be brutally honest with you, out of these 12 more chapters, sole trader is going to be one of the big chapters. Manufacturing is going to be comparatively smaller. NPO is going to be comparatively smaller. Incomplete record is going to be ultra small. It's going to be very teeny. Okay, it's a very small chapter. Partnership is going to be a small chapter. Company is obviously going to be an ultra big chapter. That's a big chapter. Cash flow is going to be again a small chapter. Chapter 14 is going to be a little bit bigger. Chapter 15, small. Chapter 16, small. Are we getting the point? Are we getting the point? Now wait. So why would you tell all this story to us? You can directly start teaching accounting concepts, right? Why are we basically walking through the entire syllabus? What's the purpose? The reason why I put this on board, to make you all understand the importance of sole traders. To make you all understand the importance of sole traders. Listen to me. Manufacturing is going to be in your final exam. It's going to be there in your final exam. Most probably manufacturing is going to be tested in your final exam. NPO is going to be definitely there in your final exam. No doubts, it's going to be there. Incomplete records is going to be there in your final exam. No doubts in it. Partnership also going to be there in your final exam. You don't need to have any doubts. Companies is going to be a compulsory question. is going to be there in your final exam. Statement of cash flow is also going to be there in your final exam. But do you know one thing? Sole trader is not going to be there in your final exam except the MCQs. You are going to have MCQs, but you are not going to have part 2. Manufacturing is going to be tested in part 1 and part 2. NPO is going to be there in part 1 and part 2. Incomplete records is going to be in part 1. Partnership is going to be there in part 1 and part 2. Company is obviously going to be there in part 1 and part 2. Statement of cash flow is also going to be there in part 1 and part 2. But guess what? Sole trader is only going to be there in part 1, but it is not going to be there in part 2. Sole trader is not going to be there in part 2. Now, I know what comes to your head. Ade, then we don't need to learn sole traders. Why? Because it is only going to be there in MCQs. I'm looking for part 2 questions. I think manufacturing is more important. NPO is more important. Partnership is more important. Company is more important. Why? Because these chapters, these lessons are going to be tested not only in part 1, is going to be tested in part 2. So these lessons must be important. Sole trader might not be important. Now wait. Cut that crap. Cut that crap. Okay. Hear me well. Hear me well. What you learn in sole traders is going to be the fundamentals of manufacturing, going to be the fundamentals of NPO, going to be the fundamentals of incomplete, partnership, companies, statement of cash flow, you name it. Whatever the flipping thing you learn in chapter 6, it's going to be the fundamental of everything that you learn after chapter 6 until chapter 16. Did you hear me? I hope you heard me. Mate, do not belittle this chapter. Do not belittle this chapter. Belittle kiyanne, do not consider this to be unimportant. Don't think this is a chapter that you should be giving less amount of importance to. Hear me well. All the adjustments you learn in sole trader is going to be tested in manufacturing, is going to be tested in NPO, is going to be tested in partnership, companies, statement of cash flow, you name it. Right? So sole trader is the basic of all the other chapters that is going to come after it. So man, I don't want any one of you to take this chapter for granted. For God's sake, I don't want any one of you to take this chapter for granted. Today, we'll be learning something called accrual concept. We'll be learning something called accrual concept. In that, we will be looking at a few things, which is, I must say, something related to income statement. Okay. That thing, what we learned today, is actually accounting concept and sole trader together. What are we going to learn today? Accrual concept. Do you know one thing? This accrual concept that we are learning today, is going to be carried forward all the way until companies. All the way until companies. So if you do not understand the accrual concept here, you are not only going to mess up sole trader, you'll be messing up manufacturing, NPO, partnership, companies, statement of cash flow. The chain goes on and on and on. So there is a ripple effect. There is a ripple effect. If you, by any chance, do not understand a concept that you learn here, it's going to have a snowball effect in every chapter that comes after. Are you getting the point? So please don't you ever take this chapter for granted. I want you to study from now, from the beginning. Do as much hard work as you can. I've prepared a beautiful booklet to you. Most probably, most of you would have got the booklet by now. In this, I've literally included everything that you should be learning as far as these 2 chapters are concerned. Are we okay? Right. That's enough of an introduction. Do you have anything in mind before we get started with the first concept? Can I get started with the first concept? Do you have anything in mind? Mariam, I believe I clear your doubt. Fatima, I'll take care of the concepts. Don't worry. I'll take care of the concepts. Sir, I haven't got the tute yet. Shagda, let me check. Okay, near Okay, that's a good one, Shaira Faris. The tute says your journey to excellence starts here. Couldn't understand before, now I understand. Appa puriyala, ippa puriyudu. That's a good one. I don't want to go to companies there, so shall we go back? The accounting is easy, the first and second chapter. No. We should anyway get started with the big one. Okay, right, guys. I believe that's enough of an introduction about Sole Trader. You should have understood the importance of this lesson. Okay, now we are going to get started with chapter 5, and then I'll be nicely taking you to chapter 6. From chapter 5, I'll nicely take you to chapter 6. Let's begin with chapter 5. Okay, what is this accounting concepts? By now you should have the tute with you. Okay, so this is going to be the first page, accounting concepts, right? How many concepts do we have in total? I think we have 1, 2, I think 13, but let's count them one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, how many concepts are there? There are 13 concepts. How many concepts are there? There are 13 concepts, right? First, today, what concept are we going to complete? Let me tell you. Today we are going to complete the accrual concept. Today we are going to complete the accrual concept. If we have enough time, we'll try to do a couple of more concepts. But if time is going to be constrained, then hopefully it's going to be accrual concept. So in your tute, if you navigate yourself to page number 3, you'll see something called the accrual concept. Can you come down to it? Page number 3, accrual concept. Okay. Guess what? Accrual concept is not something new. Accrual concept is not something new. This is something you'd already learned in chapter 2 accounting equation. But when you were learning this in chapter 2, you didn't know you were learning accrual concept. When you were learning this in chapter 2, right? You didn't know that you were learning accrual concept. Unknowingly, you understood the logic. Now we are going to get clarified with it. So what is accrual concept? Listen to me. Okay, I'm going to put this through an example. Let's see how many of you could work this out, yeah? Imagine let's say for the month of May, you received an electricity bill of 40,000. You received an electricity bill of 40,000. So the electricity bill that you received for the month of May was 40,000. So you received a bill 40. Guess what you do? You decide to pay 30,000 this month. You decide to pay 30,000 this month. The remaining 10,000 you're planning to pay next month, right? So out of this 40,000, how much do you pay? You pay 30,000. Out of this 40,000, how much do you pay? You pay 30,000. You call it the electricity paid. The remaining 10,000, is it paid or payable? We all can come to a unanimous consensus. It is payable, right? So the bill you got was 40,000. Out of 40, you paid 30,000. The remaining 10,000 is remaining at the end of the month as payable, right? Now, when you prepare the income statement, you know the income statement, right? When you prepare the income statement, you're going to have the sales, right? And you'll be minusing the cost of sales. You'll be getting the gross profit, don't you? Right? And then you'll be minusing the expenses, right? Minusing the expenses. Okay, this question is for you. This question is for you, right? Under expenses, you are going to disclose electricity. Under expenses, you are going to disclose the electricity, right? The bill you received was 40. The amount you paid as electricity was 30. The remaining 10, is it paid or payable? It's payable, right? So in your income statement, let's say we are preparing the income statement for the month of May. If we are preparing the income statement for the month of May, under expenses, we should show the electricity, right? Under expenses, we should show the electricity. Answer me. Are you going to show 40,000, 30,000, or 10,000? What's your answer? Are you going to show 40, 30 or 10? Okay. Hajara says 40, Mariam says 40, Mariam Mustaq says 40, Tibetia, Shazna, Shahira, Rachel, Shamha, Zuleha, Zainab, Kavi, Hana. Okay, I think until Kavi everyone says 40. Then we got Hana says 30, Ashfa says 30, Aisha Seema says 30. Now, listen. That's where the confusion comes. Do you see? Some of you claim the expense to be 40, and then another set of people claiming it to be 30. So now which one of them is our actual expense? Is it 30 or 40? Right. That's where the accrual concept comes. The accrual concept says, hey, look, your expense is 40. Your expense is 40. Your expense is not 30. Your expense is not 10. Now wait. Why 40? Listen to me. Remember, in accounting equation, I taught you the golden rule. What was the golden rule? Whether an expense is paid or not paid, you don't care. Expense is an expense. Whether an expense is paid or not paid, you don't care. Whether you would have paid it in full, you would have paid it in half, you would have paid quarter, you would have paid maybe a penny of it, you might not even have paid anything of it. That doesn't really matter. Expense is an expense. Whether you bloody pay it or you don't pay it, that has got nothing to do with recognizing the expense in the income statement. Expense must be recognized as expense, paid or not. Again, we've got nothing to do with it. That's what do we call the accrual concept. But that's what do we call the accrual concept. You heard me right. Whether an expense is paid or not paid, you don't care. What's your expense? Record it. In my case, my bill was 40. I paid 30. Who cares about paying 30? What matters is the bill. What was the bill you received? 40. You can pay less, you can pay more, you can pay the exact amount. After all, you may not even pay anything. That's up to you. But the expense is 40. 40 must be recorded, whether it is paid or not. That's none of our business. That's what do we call the accrual concept. Did you understand me? Did you understand me? Right? Whether an expense is paid, not paid, we've got nothing to do with it. Expense must be recognized as expense despite the amount being paid. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you understood this. Give me a thumbs up if you understood the expense part. Are we clear? Niyamai. Superb. Ella. Of course, Hannah. Of course. Let me explain you. Right. The point is this, Hannah. When it comes to an expense, you don't look at how much is paid. You do not look at the amount paid as far as an expense is concerned. You might pay more than what you're supposed to pay. You might pay less than what you're supposed to pay. That's none of your business, Hannah. Think about it. You received a bill of 40, right? Bill for the month of May. The electricity bill for the month of May is 40. Out of 40, Hannah, you only paid 30. Again, 30 is irrelevant. Okay? The amount payable is also irrelevant. What matters is the expense. Right? So, expense is what you get as expense for that particular period. What you pay is irrelevant. What is payable is also irrelevant. Okay? So, in my case, we got an expense of 40. The expense relevant for that particular month was 40. Out of 40, 30 is paid. That's irrelevant. 10 is payable. That's irrelevant. What matters is the expense for that particular month. What matters is the expense for that particular month. Expense for that particular month is 40. How much you paid is irrelevant. Are we okay, Hannah? I guess we are fine, are we? Right. Now I'm going to cross-question you again. This time I don't want any one of you to go wrong. Huh? Now let's talk about income. Imagine we are after gross profit. What do we add? We add the other income, right? After gross profit, what do we add? We add the other income. Right. Imagine for the month of May, the total amount of commission we should receive is 100. The total amount of commission we should receive is 100. 100 is the total amount of commission we should receive. The amount we actually received was, let's say, 130. So we have received more, right? Okay, we have received more. How much we've received more? We've received 30. That is received more, isn't it? Okay, so the commission that we should receive for the month of May is 100. But the value we received was 130. 30 was received in excess. 30 was received in excess. Answer me. Answer me. How much are you going to show as commission under other income? How much are you going to show as commission under other income? Is it 100, 130 or 30? Very good, Hajara. Very good, Hana. I think Hana got the point now. Well done. Well done, Zainab. Well done, Tibitia. Superb, Zulaya. Well done, Mariam Ocean. Yes, Shamha. Well done, Kavi. Yes, Rachel. Very good. Shahda. Very good. Nada, Hana. Superb. It's 100. It's 100. Again, what you receive, you don't care. You might receive more. You might receive less. In this case, we've received more. Again, what you receive, we don't want to worry about it. What matters is the income. What's the income we should receive? 100. We might receive more, we might receive less. Again, we don't want to worry about it. So how much you are going to show? You are going to show 100 as your income. You're going to show 100 as income. Now that's accrual concept to you. That's accrual concept to you. Okay, right. Now, if you take a look at the definition, you'll understand everything crystal and clearly, right? This concept ensures that when preparing accounts for a business for a specific period of time, look at this, income relevant to that period, received or not, accounted as income. What did I say? You don't care about the received amount. You don't care about the receivable amount. What matters is income relevant for the period. How much is relevant? How much we should receive? How much should be received? That's the most important thing. What we receive, what we don't receive, we have got nothing to do with it. Right? Now, expenses. Expenses incurred during the period, paid or not, must be recognized as expenses. Right? Expense during the period is important. The amount paid, the amount not paid, again, we've got nothing to do with it. Again, we've got nothing to do with it. Now, that's the definition of accrual concept. Whomsoever have the tute, you might be able to go through this each time you want to get this clarified. Okay, so any income relevant for the period, received or not, you don't care. You recognize that as income. Expenses incurred is the expense. What is paid, what is not paid, again, we've got nothing to do with it. Guys, are we clear with the accrual concept? Are we okay with the definition? Can I get a thumbs up? Are you with me? All good? Okay, superb. Right, now we are getting into the main part now. Yeah, right. As far as accrual concept is concerned, under accrual concept, we are going to learn 4 instances. The first instance, payable expenses, we are going to do it now. Payments in advance, we're going to do it now. Accrued income, we're going to do it now. Income received in advance or income received for the future, we're going to do it now. Debtors, we've done it already, but I'll be explaining it to you, don't worry. Creditors, we've done it already. but I'm going to explain it to you today as well. Right? Okay, good. So accrued expenses, payable expenses, prepaid expenses, payment in advance, income receivable, accrued income, income received in advance, income received for the future, debtors and creditors. Now, guys, let's do some quick MCQs and come back. Yeah, let's do some quick MCQs and come back. Now, I want you to pay attention to these things. Huh? Please pay attention to these things. Pay attention to them because these are the things that's going to be tested in the MCQ. These are the things that's going to be tested in the MCQ. Okay. What concept are we studying? Accrual concept. What is accrual concept? Income relevant for the period, received or not, is going to be recorded. Expense incurred, paid or not, going to be recorded. Under this concept, we have to deal with 6 elements. What are those? Expense payable, expense paid in advance, income receivable, income received in advance, and no 2 things. Debtors and creditors also something relevant to the accrual concept. Debtors and creditors also something relevant to accrual concept. Now guess what? Accrual concept gets tested as MCQs, not accrual concept. Accounting concepts are tested as MCQs. Let's see what MCQs we got. We can tackle it right now. Okay. Can you do 2014 A levels and give me the answer? 2014 A levels, can you do this one? Which of the following accounting concepts provide the basis to recognize debtors and creditors in the financial statement? Yeah, can you do that for me? Ade. Right. If you get this wrong, I'm going to cancel the class and go home. Eh? Okay, we just learned it. Okay, what is it, Puta? What is it? It's accrual concept. That's what we learned right now, didn't we? Right. Okay, okay. That's 2014 A levels. Let's see if there is any other questions you can do. For the time being, you know, it's about learning something and then applying it then and there. Okay, can you do 2017 A levels question number 2? Can you do 2017 A levels question number 2? I want you to bloody bombard the chat box, man. Do it now. Come on. It's 1. It's exactly 1. Okay, very good. Very good, Anna. Well done, Mario. Well done, Zuleha. Yes, 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 exactly, Tibetia. Super, Puta. Well done, well done. What is it? It's accrual concept. Do you see the same question gets repeated? Right? It was there in 2014. It gets tested in 2017 as well. Right? You learn the concept, you apply, you go home. Simple. Right? Now let's see if there is any other question which contains the similar contents of it. Okay, until 22 we don't have any. Okay, okay. Luckily, those are the 2 MCQs we got as far as accrual concepts are concerned. Okay, now come back to your tute and let's get started with the first kind of example, expense payable. Look at this one, expense payable. Okay. Nada, wait, Nada. I'll give a good reply to your roasting a little later. Huh? Now I'm in very serious mode. Okay. Wait, I'll come. Bugger. Right. Right. Guys, listen. The first thing that we are going to look at, the first calculation that we look at is expense payable. The first thing that we are going to look at is expense payable. Before we get started with expense payable, I would like to tell you something super duper important. What I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to remember this forever, until you do your A levels, or maybe even after. You should remember this. Okay, what are we going to prepare from this point onwards? What are we going to prepare? We are going to prepare the financial statements. Am I correct? We are going to prepare the financial statements, right? To prepare the financial statements, first we record everything in the prime entry book. From the prime entry book, we transfer everything to the GL. From GL, we prepare the trial balance. From the trial balance, we transfer everything to the financial statements. From the trial balance, we transfer everything to the financial statements. Ade Puta, listen to me, all of you. They will give us the trial balance. Okay, who's going to give us the trial balance? The examiner will give you the trial balance. In every question, you will be given a trial balance. You heard me, right? In every question, you will be given a trial balance. Why? Why? Because what are you supposed to prepare? You are supposed to prepare the financial statement, right? What are you supposed to prepare? You're supposed to prepare the financial statement. To prepare the financial statement, what do you need? You need the trial balance, mate. Because the data in the trial balance is going to be transferred to the financial statement. So to prepare the financial statement, what do you need? You need the trial balance. Agree? To prepare the financial statement, what do you need? You need the trial balance. Don't you? You heard me, right? So now, listen. They will give you a trial balance. They'll give you a trial balance. But listen to me. The trial balance that is given by the examiner is going to be an incomplete trial balance. He won't give you the complete version. The trial balance examiner gives you is going to be an incomplete version of it. He's not going to give you the real trial balance. He's not going to give you the complete, perfect version of the trial balance. He's going to give you an incomplete one. Why does he give you an incomplete one? Because this is an exam, right? This is an exam. Your examiner wants to test your knowledge. Your examiner is supposed to test your knowledge. To test your knowledge, he's not going to give you the perfect trial balance. He's going to give you a trial balance which is incomplete. He's going to give you a trial balance which has a lot of defects in it. So what are you supposed to do? Listen to me. You need to make this incomplete trial balance into a complete one. You need to convert the incomplete trial balance to a complete one. Once you turn the incomplete trial balance to a complete trial balance, then from the complete trial balance, you can prepare the financial statement. Did you understand me? Let me repeat it. Your examiner will give you a trial balance which is incomplete. With what you learn in sole traders and accounting concept, you need to convert the incomplete trial balance to a complete trial balance. After turning the incomplete trial balance into a complete trial balance, you can then move to prepare the financial statements. Did you understand me? Right? So he's going to give you a trial balance. When you do partnership, a trial balance will be given. When you do sole traders, a trial balance will be given. When you do manufacturing, a trial balance is going to be given. When you do NPO, the trial balance is going to be given. When you do companies, a trial balance is going to be given. When you do cash flows, mostly a trial balance is going to be given. So a trial balance is given, and he's often going to keep it incomplete. You want to make it complete and prepare the financial statement. This is what you're going to do for the next few months. This is what you're going to do for the next few months. Are we clear? Right. Right. Listen. So a trial balance is given. The trial balance is incomplete. You need to convert the trial balance into a complete one. And we need to prepare the financial statement, right? Listen. Now, to convert the incomplete trial balance to a complete trial balance, we'll be doing something called adjustments. We'll be doing something called adjustments, right? Adjustments is the most important thing you are going to learn in chapter 6 and chapter 5. Right? If you are good at the adjustments, you will be able to do the completing part of the TB so well, you won't go wrong because you know how the adjustments are done, right? So the process of making an incomplete TB into a complete one is completely dependent on adjustments. You should learn these adjustments well. The more you get better with these adjustments, the more you get better in preparing the financial statement. You heard me. I'm walking you through this one by one. Okay, so we've got adjustments to learn. Today we are going to complete 4. We are going to complete 4 adjustments today. Today we're going to complete 4 out of all these adjustments. Okay, the more you get better with these adjustments, the more you will be able to prepare a complete TB without making any mistakes. The more you get better in completing the TB, the finer you are going to prepare the financial statement. Are we clear? Right. Now let me show you the adjustments. Let me quickly show you the adjustments. In your tute, if you go to sole traders, right? Yeah, you got the sole trader, right? In sole trader, can you see? There you go. How many adjustments are there? There are 13 adjustments we should learn in total. Okay, today we're going to complete the accrued expense, we're going to complete prepaid expense, we're going to complete income receivable, and we're going to complete income received in advance. These are the 4 adjustments we're going to complete today. Hopefully next week I'm going to complete EPF ETF, goods sent on sale or return basis, and I might also probably be able to walk you through the stock losses and damages. Right? Okay, so today the plan is to complete these 4 adjustments. Now, do you understand why we prepare the adjustments? Why do we do adjustments? Because the TB given to us is going to be an incomplete TB. We need to convert the incomplete TB into a complete one. Then only we'll be able to prepare the financial statement well. Okay, that's what the examiner going to do. So examiner will always give you a TB which is wrong. Let me repeat it. Examiner is going to give you a TB which is wrong. He's always going to give you a TB that's wrong. You need to convert that to a complete one. Please, please, please know that. The more you know, the more you'll be able to do this well. Are you with me? Good. So today, we are going to complete 4 adjustments of them. Let's get started with the first one, accrued expenses. Let's get started with the first one, accrued expenses. Right, accrued expenses. Page number 3 in accounting concepts. Okay. Listen. In accrued expenses, do you see example number 1? Can you read example number 1 on your own? Can you read example number 1 on your own? Can you do that for me, please? Right. Rent expense per month is 20,000. Business paid 200,000 as rent expense for the year. Only the amount paid has been recorded. Only the paid amount has been recorded. Listen to me. Rent expense per the month, how much is it? 20,000, right? But how much did the business pay? Business paid 200,000. Only the paid amount has been recorded. Now pay attention to the circled terms, right? Pay attention to the circled terms. Only the paid amount has been recorded. This is quite important. This is quite important. Listen. So now, what are we going to do? We are going to prepare the income statement. What are we going to do? We are going to prepare the income statement. Right. Income statement. And we are dealing with the expenses now. Let me write only the expenses. Okay, I'm skipping the sales, cost of sales. I'm only going to deal with the expenses. Okay. Let me put heading expenses. Good. This is income statement. What else do we prepare? Can you remember? We don't only prepare income statement. For sole traders, we prepare income statement. We also prepare SOFP. We prepare income statement. We also prepare SOFP. Good. Right. Now listen to me. Listen to me. What happens here? They've given us the rent expense per month. They also have given us the total rent expense paid. The total rent expense paid. Now tell me, to prepare the income statement and SOFP, from where do you extract the data? From where do you extract the data to prepare the income statement and SOFP? Yes. Answer me. From where do you extract the data to prepare the income statement and SOFP? May I know that? I just taught you right now. I just taught you right now. Exactly. Exactly. Well done, well done, well done. Superb, Mariam Inoshan. Well done, Shamha. Well done, Mariam. Well done, Tibitia. Shazna, Hana, Shahira, Zainab, Zuleha, Hajara, Fatima. Very good, very good. From where do you get the data? We get the data from TB, right? So we get the data from TB. Now listen to me. Listen to me. We got the TB right here. We got the TB right here. And what did I say? What did I say? The TB given is often going to be incomplete. Didn't I say that to you? The TB given is often going to be incomplete. They will give you an incomplete TB. Okay? So in the TB, listen to me. In the TB, we are dealing with the rent, right? So they are going to show a rent amount. In the TB, they are going to show a rent. Okay? Now, examiner won't show the correct rent. Examiner will not show the correct rent. Examiner will show a rent which is wrong, which is incomplete. In other words, you need to convert the incomplete expense to a complete expense. You heard me? Let me repeat. Examiner will give you a wrong expense amount in the TB. Based on your knowledge, you need to convert the incomplete expense or the wrong expense to a complete one, and you should record the correct one in the financial statement. You heard me? Right. Now, you might be wondering, sir, okay, sir, like, how does he make it wrong? How does he make it wrong? How does he give us the wrong figure? How can we figure that out? Listen to me. Listen to me. If you take a look at this question, rent expense per month is 20,000. Business paid 200,000 as rent expense for the year. Only the paid amount has been recorded. So tell me, the examiner has recorded the paid amount. What's the paid amount? The paid amount is 200,000. So your examiner has recorded the paid amount in the TB. Your examiner has recorded the paid amount in the TB. So in the TB, you have 200,000. In the TB, you have 200,000. And by the way, this 200,000 is not the total expense. It is actually the paid amount. And by the way, what did I teach you at the beginning? Paid, not paid. We don't care. Paid, not paid. We've got nothing to do with it. What matters is the total expense. Can you remember? Examiner is saying, hey, Puta, rent is the paid amount. We know, no, it's not the paid amount, it's the total expense. It's the total expense we should be paying, not only the paid amount. But the examiner is adamant saying, no. In the TB, you got 200, that's what you should record. But you should now challenge the examiner, hey, wait, it's for 200. You know accrual concept? In accrual concept, the paid amount is not important. We need to take the total expense and we should record it. Did you understand? Did you really understand me? You heard the point, right? So your examiner is going to give you an expense which is obviously going to be the paid amount. You need to make it the complete one. So it's an incomplete value given. It's an incomplete value given. So listen, now this 200 is going to be taken to the expenses, right? Rent. How much the examiner has already recorded? 200. But you know 200 cannot be your expense. You know 200 cannot be your expense. Because expense is not the paid amount. Expense is not the paid amount. Paid amount is irrelevant. Now, what's the actual expense? They tell you, they tell us. They tell us, and always the examiner will tell you what's the total expense. Look, rent expense per month is 20,000. Rent expense per month is 20,000. If I multiply this 20,000 by 12 months, what's the rent I should be paying? I should be paying 240,000. What's the rent I should be paying? I should be paying 240. Very good, Shazna Makhruf. Well done, Hajara. Very good, Tibitia, Shama, Kavi, Rachel. Without even me asking, you guys are, voluntarily putting the answer. I really appreciate that. So rent expense for the month is 20, no? Right? So listen, for a month you should pay 20. For 12 months you gotta pay 240. But how much have you paid? 200. You got the point. Amazing. Now look at this. The rent expense according to our speculation, 20,000 a month, 20,000 a month multiplied by 12 months, the rent expense according to our speculation is 240. Examiners recorded the paid amount, which is 200. Right? Examiners recorded that. So the remaining 40, listen to me, the remaining 40, is it paid or payable? It is payable. Understood the point. So you now clearly understand your examiner has prepared the trial balance incorrect. It's an incomplete expense. The expense that should be recorded is 240. The expense that should be recorded is 240 because you know whether an expense is paid or not. You don't care. Expense is an expense. Expense that should be recorded here is 240. But here the examiners recorded only the paid amount, 200. Am I making sense to you? Am I making sense to you? This is how the examiner is going to trick you. You need to work that out. Okay. So the expense that is recorded by the examiner is 200. But according to your speculation, it is not 200, it is 240. Answer me, how much are we missing? How much the examiner is missing? How much the examiner is missing? Examiner has already recorded 200. How much is he missing? Elakiri, mate. Elakiri. He's missing 40K. He's missing 40K. So he's basically missing this 40, right? Right? So you should add that 40. What should you do? You should add that 40 with the paid amount. Examiner's value is incomplete 200. To make this incomplete value into a complete value, with that 200, we should add 40. Understood my point? So now this is the paid amount and this is the payable amount. Paid plus payable becomes my total expense. Paid plus payable becomes my total expense. So 200 is already recorded by the examiner. Don't worry about it. Examiner has taken care of it. The remaining 40 you should take care. The remaining 40 you should take care. So you record that as an expense. To record that as an expense, what do? Expenses are debited, right? So in the rent expense account, I'm going to debit 40. That's the double entry for this 40. Right? That's the first entry for this 40. Rent expense debit. Now finish it for me. Can I credit the cash? Rent expense debit karla, can I credit the cash? I can't credit the cash. Why can't I credit the cash? Because is it paid or payable? It is payable, right? So examiners recorded the paid amount. You are recording the payable. So 40 is part of the expense. You record that 40 as an expense. Now you take that down to income statement. And is it paid or payable? It's a payable. Is that a long-term liability or short-term liability? It's a short-term liability. Short-term liabilities are known as current liability. Under current liability, I'm going to show rent payable. I'm going to show rent payable. How much am I going to show? 40. How much am I going to show? 40. Did you understand me? Are you all with me, guys? You got the point. So in the rent expense account, I debit 40. That's this. That's me making my first entry here. And then 40, is it paid or payable? It's payable. So in the rent payable account, I should credit 40. So do you keep classes physically? Yeah, of course I keep classes physically. I keep classes physically. By the way, whereabout are you looking for a physical class, Fatima? Drop me a message in the chat box. I'll help you. Right. Oi, Puta, are you all fine with it? Can I get a quick thumbs up if you're all okay with it? Or maybe a love symbol. Why the love symbol is not being generated now? But it should work now. Oh yeah, it works. It works. Wait. It works. Ah, it's gone. Why it doesn't work? It used to work before. It doesn't work now. I don't know, man. Shit. Right. Oh yeah, thank you, Shama. Shama is helping me with the heart symbol. Yes, it works now. Perfect. So guys, cool thing. I hope that's clear. So listen to me. What's the point that I taught you? The point is this: The examiner has given the paid amount. The paid amount is taken to the financial statement. But no, you can't record the paid amount as expense. You need to record the total expense, right? This is the incomplete value. You need to make it complete. To make it complete, we do a calculation. Rent per month is 20. For 12 months, what is the rent that we are supposed to pay? 240. 240 is your expense. How much you paid? 200. 240 is your expense. You paid 200. So how much is payable? The remaining 40 is payable. Examiner has recorded this, but he has missed the 40. Right? So to make this 200 a complete expense, you need to add a 40 with it. Then only it will become 240. Right? So 200 is the paid amount. With the paid amount, you should add the payable. Then only the incomplete expense will become complete. And now 40 is an expense. You debit the rent expense account. 40 again, double entry is not relevant. What matters is the statement. Double entry is not relevant. What matters is the statement. You add the 40. Now this 40, is it paid or payable? It's payable. So you credit the current liability. There you go. That's the answer for the first example given. Right. Now, let's quickly go through the notes. What is expense payable? Any expense which is relevant to the current accounting period but not yet paid. So expense relevant to the period but not yet paid is known as accrued expense. This is treated as a current liability, yeah, right? We treated that as a current liability. Accrued expense should be added to the relevant expense paid in cash to find out the total expense of the business. Do you agree? Accrued expense should be added to the relevant expense. I think we added it. Can you see? Accrued expense. The expense paid was there. With the expense paid, what did we do? We added, right? Good. So that's what they mention here. Annual expense is equal to expense paid and accrued expense. Expense paid and expense payable. You can see expense paid and the expense payable. Right. Now, the double entry is given. Expense account debit, accrued expense account credit. In my case, it's rent expense debit, rent payable credit. Now, we are finalizing example number 1. And I want you to do activity 1 as a homework. Do activity 1 as a homework. We shall discuss this homework next week. Okay, I want you to do activity 1 today. Not 1 today, next week. By the time I come next week, I want you to complete this, okay? So these these 4 adjustments are meant to maximize your understanding. Maximize your understanding of expense payable. Good. Moving on to the next category, what is it? Prepaid expenses. What are prepaid expenses? Again, let's take a look at the example. Let's understand everything through numbers and then we'll come down to the notes. It's easier, right? Okay. Example 2. Rent per month is 5,000. Business paid 70,000 as rent during the year. Again, the paid amount has been recorded. Again, the paid amount has been recorded. Okay. Shall I ask you a question? Again, what are they talking about? They are talking about a expense, the same rent. So let me erase only the required parts. Answer me. Those who have the tute and those who paid attention to the numbers in the question, answer me. What's the rent paid by the examiner? Sorry, what's the rent recorded by the examiner? Can you tell me? What's the rent recorded by the examiner? Right. Only 3 people have answered. Looking forward for a couple of more answers to be dropped in the chat box. Look, rent per month is 5,000. Business paid 70,000 as rent during the year. Paid amount has been recorded. So how much the examiner has recorded? Exactly. The examiner has recorded 70, right? The examiner has recorded 70, right? Because they are clearly saying, look, rent per month is 5,000. Business paid 70,000 as rent during the year. Paid amount has been recorded, right? So in the TB, Our examiners recorded 70. Our examiners recorded 70 as rent. Okay. So in the expenses, we got rent. How much do we have? 70, right? Now this 70, finish it for me. What amount is it? It's the paid amount. Who recorded it? The examiner recorded it. But according to accrual concept, you can challenge what the examiner has done. You can actually challenge what the examiner has done. You can tell the examiner, hey, you are making a mistake. Right? You are making a mistake because the amount paid cannot be the expense. Expense is the amount that you are supposed to pay. What you pay is irrelevant. That's what we've learned, right? So now what do? You try to prove your examiner rent expense cannot be 70. What's the rent expense? They've given us 5,000 is the rent expense per month. Multiplied by 12 months, the rent expense that we are supposed to pay is 60. The rent that we are supposed to pay is 60. Agree? 5,000 a month multiplied by 12 months, how much are we supposed to pay? 60. Examiner has paid, not the examiner, the business has paid how much? 70. That 10, you've overpaid it. That 10, what is it? You've overpaid it. Okay, you're supposed to pay 60, you've paid 10 more. You're supposed to pay 60, you've paid 70. So you've paid 10 more, right? So if you've paid 10 more, you call it prepaid rent. It can also be called rent paid in advance. You made an advance payment of rent. Right? So now listen, your examiner is arguing, Puta, our expense is 70. Your examiner is arguing, Puta, our expense is 70. You are saying, no, your expense is not 70. Just because you paid 70 doesn't mean you can count that as an expense, because expense is not the amount you pay, it's the amount that is supposed to be paid. The amount that is supposed to be paid is 60. The amount that is supposed to be paid is 60. What examiner has recorded is 70. Okay, so that 10, answer me. It's overpaid, right? It is overpaid. Think about it. We are supposed to pay 60. We've paid 70. We've paid 10 more. That 10, we paid it for the next year. We've made an advance for the next year. We should pay 60, right? We should pay 60. So without paying 60, if we pay 70, we are paying 60 for this year. The remaining 10 is for the next year. Let me show you. In this 70, 60 for this year. Agree? That 10, is it for this year or next year? Next year. That's why you call it an advance. That's why you call it an advance. Answer me. When you make an advance payment, is that a liability or asset in your perspective? Is that a liability or asset? Yes. Exactly, mate. Exactly. It's an asset, isn't it? It is an asset. Right. So now, in this 70, you have 10, which is an asset. In this 70, you have 10, which is an asset. It is not expense, it is an asset. So what are you supposed to do? You need to remove that 10. What are you supposed to do? You should remove that 10. So from the paid, you need to minus the prepaid. From the paid, you need to minus the prepaid. So you take the 10 off. Why do you take the 10 off? You know, this 10,000 is not this year expense. It is going to be next year expense. This 10 is paid not for this year. It is paid for next year. So the 10 should be counted as the amount paid for the next year. So that's not this year expense. That is an amount paid for the next year. Understood? So you remove that 10. After removing that 10, where do you take it to? You take it to the asset, because you have made an advance. It's your money. You've made an advance. It is your money. Under current asset, you're going to show what expense? Prepaid rent. How much are you going to show? You are going to show 10. Did you understand me? You are going to show 10. The reason why I'm taking it slow, the reason why I'm spoon feeding you bit by bit, because I don't want you to go wrong here. I don't want you to go wrong here. Listen, the examiner recorded 70, but according to your speculation, it's 60. Okay, so in this 70, 10 is paid, but it is not for this year. Next year, remove it, and it is an advance. Take it to the current asset. Take it down to the current asset. Right. Now, that's the way you sort the financial statement out. Do you have anything in mind? Are we okay with the financial statement? All fine? Yes? Can I get a quick thumbs up maybe? Just to get some reassurance. Are you all with me? No, in the business perspective, it's an asset, Hana. In the business perspective, it's an asset. Do you know why? For next year rent, we are paying this year. For next year rent, an amount that is supposed to be paid next year, we are paying it this year. So now our money is with the landlord. Our money is with the landlord. By the way, it's not this year expense. It is not an amount that we are supposed to pay for this year. Okay, it is an amount we have given to him to treat that as an expense for next year. So in our perspective, it's a liability. Not a liability, my bad. In our perspective, it's an asset. Hana, are you okay? Right. Now, to the double entries. Although double entry is not so important, let me teach that too, yeah? Let me teach that too. Finish it for me now. I'm showing that as an asset, right? I'm showing that as an asset. So assets are debited. Assets are debited. What asset is it? Prepaid rent, which is an asset. Prepaid rent account debit. How much is it? 10. That's this. Prepaid rent account debit because it's an asset. Now tell me, do you increase the expense or decrease the expense? Do you increase the expense or decrease the expense? You decrease the expense, correct? You are not increasing it. You are decreasing the expense. If you are to decrease the expense, you know, expenses are debited. What do? Give me a minute. I think the markers. Okay, never mind. Fine. Expenses are usually debited. Now you are reducing the expense. To reduce the expense, what are you supposed to do? You should credit. Expenses are usually debited. To reduce the expense, what are you supposed to do? You should credit. So now I'm reducing the expense. In the rent expense account, what am I supposed to do? I should credit 10. What should I do? I should credit 10. There you go. That's basically expense paid in advance. Guys, do you have anything in mind? Are we fine? All good? Anything to ask? If you have doubts, please ask me. Okay. I'm just superb. So what has happened to your hair? Actually, I couldn't get a haircut. That's why my hair is all mess. If my hair grows, it becomes a mess. It becomes a bit curly and wavy. Probably that's why it's a mess. I'm trying to adjust it. No matter how hard I try to adjust, it looks weird. Can you see? That's the problem. Again, don't mind me about my hair, right? I'm all good. Trust me. Right. What to do, man? I'm wondering, like, with this hair, I'm struggling a lot. Then think about those girls having hair up to this level. They're doing like this now, maybe they're okay. Right. Hope that wasn't offensive. Guys, don't try to roast me saying it looks like you just woke up. I woke up for Subah, I didn't. Sir, it's like a nest. Thank you, Shahira. I was waiting until you roast me. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Probably some birds can come and get accommodated in my head. Finally, someone gets it. Let it grow longer. Oh, wow. Do you want me to grow long hair? How many of you want me to have long hair like this? Kavi, I know you are trying to trigger me so that you can, you know, अरे बाइक करना क्या निकाटी है अयो नो सर एपा No, I think many knows, huh? I think many knows. And where is Hafsa? Today Hafsa is absent, no? You. Oh man, that's offensive. Just imagine it. I won't be able to study. Why? What's wrong, man? I'll have nice hair, man. What's the problem with you, Nada? Hafsa said that she couldn't join. Okay, okay. I believe she will watch the recording. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a try. Thank you, by the way, Kavi, for the suggestion. I'll try growing my hair. If it goes good, if it looks good, I'm going to keep it. If it looks bad, I'm going to cut it. For the time being, I'll keep it this way, okay? The nest hairstyle. Okay, righto. Next thingy, I want you to do activity 2 as homework. Keep it ready. I'm going to discuss it next week. Activity 2 homework. Activity 2 homework. Right. So now a quick flick through the notes. What is prepaid expense? Payments made. We have made a payment for the next accounting period. Payment made for the next accounting period. That's why you call it an advance. What do you call it? You call it a advance. Now, prepayments are treated as current assets. Do you agree? Prepayments, we treat them as what? Current assets. And prepaid expenses should be deducted from the total expense. Do you agree? From the total expense paid, what did we do? We deduct it. From the total expense paid, what did we do? We deduct it because it is not this year expense. Expense payable is this year expense. We added. Prepaid expense is not this year expense, it's next year. This 10 is not paid for this year, it is paid for next year. So you cannot consider that as this year expense, that's why you remove it. Agree? Right. So now, should be deducted from the total expense paid to find out the annual expense of the business. So how do you get the annual expense? Total expense paid, in my case, it was 70. And from that, I deducted 10 in order to get 60. There you go. There you go. Right. Now to the next element, income receivable. Income receivable. Let's go through example number 3. Let's go through example number 3. Yeah. Activity number 1 and 2, do everything as homework, Shada. Okay. Good. Right. Income receivable, can we quickly go through the example? Rent income per month is 12,000. Business received rent income for 10 months. Only received amount appears in the trial balance as income. You know the examiner doesn't like to give you the correct value. He will always give you the wrong value. And by the way, are we dealing with expenses anymore? No, we are dealing with income now. What are we dealing with? Income. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Here we are not talking about expenses now. What do we talk of? We are talking about income, right? So I'm not going to have expenses in the income statement. Now I'm going to have other income. What am I going to have? I'm going to have other income, right? Right, let's see what they got to say. Let's be quick with it. Rent income per month is 12,000. Business received rent income for 10 months. Only received amount appears in the trial balance. Okay, listen to me. Rent income per month. Rent income per month is 12,000. That's 12,000 per month. That's 12,000 per month. I need to multiply it by 12 months to get the year's rent. I need to multiply it by 12 months to get the year's rent. Right. Let me show it to you. 12 into 12, that's 144,000. How much is it? That's 144,000. So 144,000 is the rent income. According to our calculations, rent income is 144,000, right? Can you answer me? Can you please answer me? The examiner has not recorded the rent income. Examiner has recorded the rent received. Examiner has recorded the rent received. Tell me what's the rent received. I'll show you. Tell me the rent received. They say only the received amount appears in the trial balance. Business received rent income for how many months? 10 months, right? Fatima, you can message me anytime. Message me anytime, Fatima. Right. Exactly, Machan. Very good, very good. Right. He has recorded rent received 12,000 per month, right? Rent has been received for how many months? 10 months. That's 120. So 144 is the amount that we are supposed to receive. 144 is the amount that we are supposed to receive. Out of 144, how much have we received? 120. So how much is receivable? 24,000 is receivable. Do we agree? Okay, right. So the rent income, according to our calculation, the amount that we are supposed to receive, 12,000 a month. For 12 months, we should receive 144,000 in total. But we have received rent for only for 10 months. So 12,000 into 10 months, we have only received 120. There is another 24,000 receivable. Examiner has recorded the received amount. You know, examiner will always record the received amount. Examiner has recorded the received amount. So under other income, I'm going to show rent and I'm going to bring in 120 from the trial balance. And now this 120 is incomplete. Why? Because it is not the total rent income. It is the received amount, right? But according to our calculation, 120 is not the rent income. It's 144. 120 is not the rent income. It's 144. So we have the received amount 120. So examiner has recorded 120. He has failed to record 24. Examiner has recorded 120, but he has failed to record 24, right? So what are we supposed to do? With this 120, I'm going to add a 24. Then only my answer will become 144. To make the incomplete income to a complete income, with the received amount, I should add the receivable. With the received amount, I should add the receivable. So receive plus receivable is going to be my total income. So the examiner given us the received rent 120. With that received rent, if I add the receivable, the total amount of rent that I should be receiving in that particular year is going to be 144, right? So to make the incomplete income into a complete income with the received value, what do? Add the receivable and I make it 144. Now this 24 is receivable, right? You know receivables are asset. You know receivables are asset. So you take the 24, bring it down under current asset, and you're going to say rent receivable. How much are you going to show? 24. Did you understand? That 120 is already taken care by the examiner. There you go. Mate, it's not hard. What did I say? Accounting is never hard if you learn it in the right way. Accounting is never hard if you learn it in the right way. But guess what most of the students do? They just learn it, but they do not understand how things work. Look, I might not have taught you a lot today, but the depth of the subject matter that I taught you today is so deep, right? I taught you about the incomplete TB. I taught you about the examiner. I taught you what would the examiner do, right? And I told you when an incomplete income is given, you need to make it complete, right? There are quite a lot of things I taught you to make you all understand how the process of accrual concept works. Now, how do you work this out? Again, this is an asset, the double entry. Assets are debited. What asset are we talking about? Rent receivable. In the rent receivable account, what do? You debit 24. In the rent receivable account, what do? You debit 24 because it is an asset and it is an income, right? What do? You increase the income, right? So you have an income already on the credit side. To increase the income, you credit more. So rent receivable account debit, rent income account credit 24. That's your answer. There you go. Guys, are we okay with the receivable? Are we okay with the income part? Appa, niyamai puta. Maria Mustaq, you know, Haida, Afda, Lena, they are all asking for the Pringles. They are saying, sir, give the Pringles, we will hand it over to Mariam. I doubt it. I don't think they will hand it over to you, Mariam. That's why I didn't give it to you. Don't trust them. Never trust them. Okay? I don't think they will give you the Pringles. Never trust your friends. Especially Lena, Afda. Okay? They are so dangerous. Dangerous people. No, sir, they can be trusted. Mariam, okay, நீங்க trust பண்ணுங்க. They will definitely one day betray you, then you will come to me. You go, trust them. Ah, they are good friends, maybe bad for you. Mariam, one day you will understand. Nifran sir is not wrong here, you will understand. I know definitely you will take a screen recording of me saying this and you'll send it to Leena and Afda. I have no problem. I'll deal with them. Taniya Dinra. Ilman, sorry da. I wish I can give it to you, but unfortunately, I'm teaching you online now. If not, I will buy you all chocolates. No, it's a good one, man. Good one. Very true, Nada. Very true. Don't ever trust any of the Mariams, guys. Very true. People in the name of Mariams are dangerous people. Huh? You should never trust them. Piece of advice, others. Take it or leave it. Never trust the people in the name of Mariams. Mariams are dangerous. Okay. Everyone is agreeing. Wow. That's a good chocolate, man. Who said that? I can't tell you. I can't tell you who said that. You can't object. That's the truth. I'm going to post a, what do you call this one today? What's a post today? Mariams shouldn't be trusted. Then you are not trusting Mariam Mustaq. I told you, I'm not trusting anyone whose name starts with Mariam. I'm sorry. I don't trust anyone. Right. Okay, no offense, Mariam. That's the truth. Mariam Innotion and Mariam Mustaq. Zero trust. Next, we got the income received in advance. I know today you will plot a plan to kill me. That's fine. Today I know they all will be planning how to roast Nifran sir the next class. How we can roast him so that we can revenge him. It's okay. Okay. Now we are dealing with the last adjustment. Income received in advance. How does the income received in advance works? Again, I would like to walk you through an example. And by the way, guys, let's try to quickly finalize the notes of income receivable. What is income receivable? Income relevant for the period, but not yet received. Agree, right? Income relevant for the period, but not yet received. It is a current asset. Yes, we categorize it as current asset because it is a receivable. Income receivable should be added to the relevant income received. So they will give us a received amount. Oh, we don't have it. We had a received amount. With the received, what did we do? We added the receivable. Can you remember? Good. Superb. Now, to calculate the total income for the year, okay. Annual income, income received plus income receivable, you get the total income. Right. Now, activity 3, can you do that as a homework for me? Do activity 3 as homework. Okay. Right. Towards the next one. Income received in advance. How does income received in advance work? Income received in advance, I would like to again walk you through example 4. Through examples, we can understand things better rather than just reading through the notes. Okay. Rent income per month is 10,000. Business received 150,000 as rent income during the year. Received amount is recorded as income. Right. Okay. So you know how to work it out, don't you? Right. Tell me the rent income. 10,000 a month, 10,000 a month into how many months? 12 months. Rent income that is supposed to be received is 120. Rent income that is supposed to be received is 120. Agree? Okay. But how much did you receive? How much of a rent did we receive? Rent received. Rent received is 150. How much of a rent did we receive? We received 150. So the rent income that we are supposed to receive is 120, but we have received 150. So we have received 30 in excess. We have received 30 in excess. So we can say rent received in advance. What can we call it? We call it the rent received in advance. Now listen, in this 150 received, 120 is for this year. 120 is for this year. The remaining 30, is it for this year or next year? The remaining 30 is received for the next year. Am I correct? Am I correct? The remaining 30 is received for the next year. Understood the point? Superb. Superb. So, according to our speculation, the rent income that should be recorded is 120. The amount received is irrelevant because we are learning the accrual concept. Accrual concept says income is income, amount received, it's not the income. We shouldn't be considering that as income, right? So this 120 should be the amount that should be recorded in the TB, but what is recorded in the TB is 150. Why? Because examiner always record the received amount. You know that, right? Examiner will always record the received amount. He will give us the incomplete value. We should make it complete, right? So if we extract this 150 to the income statement, under other income, I'm going to have rent. Under rent, examiner has recorded 150. Now this 150 is the received value, right? 150 is the received value. Yes, recorded that as income. But based on our calculation, when we worked it out, it is not 150. When we worked it out, it's 120. So tell me, how much do we have received in excess? We've received 30 in excess. What are we supposed to do? We need to remove the 30. Why are we removing the 30? Because that 30 is received for next year. The 30 is received for next year. It's not this year income. It is not income received for this year. It is a value received with regards to next year. So we are supposed to get 120. We are supposed to get 120. But how much did we get? We got 150. So we have received 30 in excess. Someone else's money is with us now. Someone has given 30 in excess. That's not our money. Our money is 120. We are supposed to receive 120, but we have received 30. We have received 30 more. So someone else's money is with us now. So is that 30 an asset to us, or is that 30 a liability to us? Is that 30 an asset to us, or is that 30 a liability to us? Very good, Shazna. Well done. Well done, Hana. What about others? Is that 30 an asset to us, or is that a liability to us? Very good, Maria Mustaq. Very good, Shahda. Well done, Kavi. Well done, Kavi. Well done, Shahira, Zainab, Hajara, Shamha. Superb. It's a liability. It is a liability, right? So you remove the 30 out, and yet you take it to the current liability because it is someone else's money with us. It is someone else's money. Let's say Tibitia should pay me 120, but Tibitia paid 150. So she should be paying 120, but she has paid 150. So out of that 150, 120 is my money. 30 is Tibitia's money. That's a liability, right? So I'm going to say rent received in advance. How much is it? That's going to be 30. How much is it? That's going to be 30. There you go. That's how you work the income received in advance out. Are we clear? Superb, right? Now, this 30, what is it? It's a liability, right? Liabilities, are they debited or credited? They are credited. What liability is it? Rent received in advance account credit. Rent received in advance account credit. Why? Because you know this 30 is a liability. Liabilities are credited. 30 is a liability. Liabilities are credited. What liability are we talking about? Rent received in advance. So rent received in advance account credit 30. Now here, what are we talking about? We are talking about income, right? Income is on the credit side. Income is on the credit side. Now listen, are we increasing the income or decreasing the income? We are decreasing the income. To decrease the income, income is on the credit side. To decrease, what are we supposed to do? We should debit it. Income is on the credit side. To decrease, what are we supposed to do? We should debit it. So in the rent income account, what am I going to do? In the rent income account, I'm going to debit. How much am I going to debit? 30. Did you understand me? Right? Now that's the beauty. That's the beauty of accrual concept. And I'm literally summing up all 4 adjustments related to accrual concept today. Guys, can I get a quick hands up? Are we all fine with the accrual concept? Yes? I got few announcements to make after the class is over. Niyamai. Well done. Superb. Right, thank you very much, guys. Okay. Don't worry, recordings are going to be uploaded in the LMS. You can go through it whenever you want. What is income received in advance? Income received for the next accounting period is known as income received in advance. Income received in advance is treated as what? Current liability. It's a current liability of the business. This amount will be subtracted from the total income. That's what we did, right? Can you see? From the total income received. From the total income received, what did we do? We subtracted, we removed it, right? Okay, it is removed from the total income received. So how do you get that? You have the total income received according to us. According to our example, it was 150. From that 150, how much did Nifran sir remove? Nifran sir removed 30. And how much did you get? You get 120, right? That's income received advance for you. I want you to do activity 4 as homework. I want you to do activity 4 as homework. Right, guys, how was all those 4 adjustments? Are we okay? Do you have anything in mind? Thank you, Tibitya. Thank you, Sharda. Thank you, Amika. Thank you very much. Amika, my friend. Ade. Class will be finishing at 10, don't worry. Miss Fatima. Everything is crystal and clear. Shamha. Patta easy. Patta easy, Kingsbury. Kingsbury, the legend. Okay, I'll show you the questions. Some of you want to take a screenshot of the homework questions. I'm going to go one by one. You can take a screenshot of activity 1 now. Those who don't have the tute, you can take a screenshot of activity 1 now. We will be discussing that next week. Amika, that's fine. What happened to you? Are you all okay now? Nif 85 also one of a legend. I don't think I'm a legend, Hana. I don't think I'm a legend. How to order the tute? Zainab Ashraf, you need to order the tute by visiting the website. I'll show you, Zainab. Thank you, Kavi. Kavi, I'll reply to your WhatsApp message. I just saw your message, to be honest. I'll reply you, don't worry. You got Nifran, sir, don't worry. I'll work it out to you. It happens. It's part of life. It's part of your school life, you know. Activity 2. Take a screenshot quickly. Right. Activity 3. Take a screenshot. Right. I believe you took a screenshot of activity 3. Activity 4. Can you take a screenshot of it? Don't worry, Amika. Your father will be completely fine. You just need to have that faith and you got to be strong, you know. I just want to let you know one thing, not just Amika, for everyone, you know, when you see your parents sick, I know your heart trembles, okay, because obviously, who's more important to us than our parents? For me, yeah, I'm married, I have my wife, I have my siblings, I have a lot of friends, but no one is more important to me than my parents, right? And I must say, when your parents are not well, it is indeed a unfortunate situation, but at the same time, I would say it's a blessing too. Do you know why it's a blessing? When your parents are sick, it gives you an opportunity to show your parents how much you love them, right? Because my dad, when he was hospitalized due to a heart attack, all of you know, I just literally cancelled off all my classes and I was with him. Day and night, I was with him. I took him by my hand. I took him to the washroom. I, measured his, urination. I took him back. I made him, I bathed him, right? I put him on the bed. I did everything possible from my end. And he sort of understood, Ade, my son loves me. And I also got an opportunity to show God that I love my parents and I'm fulfilling my duties as a son towards my parents. So take that as a positive thing. Stay strong. stick with your father, do anything, everything that you got from your end, you'll be fine. Okay. You're always welcome. Amika, I hope you're fine, yeah? Don't worry. Stay strong. We can work it out. Okay. Okay. Guys, wait. Will you be able to give me like another 10 minutes? I have another 2 more concepts to complete. Can I complete them and let you all go home? Or do you want to go home? I can even do that next week also. Wow, what an attitude. What an attitude. Let's do it, sir. Unbelievable. Mariam saying that. That is even more unbelievable. Okay. Business entity concept, take a puta. We already learned it. We already learned it in chapter number 2. When I was teaching you chapter number 2, when I was teaching equity in particular, what did I say? I told you owner and business are 2 different things. In accounting, owner and business are 2 different things. You shouldn't mix them up. In accounting, owner and business are 2 different things. You should not mix them up. Can you remember? So that's business entity concept. Owner and business are 2 different things. You are not recording the owner's transaction. You record the business transaction, right? That's what they tell us. Let's quickly go through it and highlight them one by one. Okay, in maintaining accounts, business and owners are considered as 2 entirely separate persons. Didn't I tell you? Right? Business and the owners are considered as 2 entirely separate persons. It means business is independent of its owners. You cannot consider business to be part and parcel of owners. Business is completely independent. What is recorded in the books of a business is not the owner's transaction, but only the transactions entered into by business. So you can say what is recorded is not the owner's transactions, but the transactions by business. This is business entity concept, and we have looked at it a couple of more times in accounting equation. So you can see asset equals equity plus liability, right? Why do you consider equity as a separate element? You consider equity as a separate element because of what concept? Because of business entity concept. You consider equity as a separate element. Why though? Because of business entity concept. So I have also given you a nice picture of someone, right? Right. Owner, business says to owner, hey, please keep my cash records separate from yours. And the owner says, yes, I will. They aren't the same. They are separate, right? This is business entity concept. Now, going concern, I'm not going to teach you today because it might take a bit of time for me to complete it. Okay, so not going concern today. Right. Let's go for money measurement concept. What is money measurement concept? This is also something that we looked at back in the process of accounting. Every transaction, as long as it can be measured in money, as long as every transaction can be measured in monetary terms, we can record them in the financial statement. If transactions cannot be measured financially, it cannot be recorded. Can you remember? If transactions can be measured financially, you can record them in the financial statement. If transactions cannot be recorded in the financial statement, then it cannot be recorded in the financial statement. Now think about it. Shall I ask you a question? You answer me, okay? Right. I have a motor vehicle. Can I record that in the financial statement? Can it be measured in monetary values? Can I record them? Very good, Hana. What about others? Can I record them? Very good, Mario. Yes, we can record that in the financial statement. Answer me. Now let's assume I know you guys are going to roast me, but let's assume I'm a very talented individual. Let's assume I'm a very smart guy. Let's assume I have a lot of skills. I'm the next Albert Einstein. Let's say I'm the next version of Isaac Newton. And let's say I'm Alexander Graham Bell. I got all those people's brain in my head, right? Let's say I'm super duper talented, knowledgeable, and whatnot. Okay. Can I show my knowledge as an asset? Can I show my knowledge as an asset? சிலாக்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பொறாமை. Some people, when I claim myself to be a resemblance of Isaac Newton, they are like, fire, எரியுது, right? You know who, right? You know who. I don't want to tell them. They are like, enough list நல்லாவே பெருசா போகுது. It's like they are so jealous. Don't worry. Why no? Why no, Buddha? Do you think I don't have brain? Why can't I show that as an expense? Not expense. Why can't I show that as an asset? Why can't I show that as an asset? Why? No brain. Thank you. That's an input. No. Shahira, go man. You are Porama man. You, Mariam, and all Porama man. Nada also Porama. All of you are jealous man. Yeah, because my brain doesn't have... What to do? I have to say this. My brain doesn't have a value. Right? My brain cannot be given a financial value. It's invaluable. Right? My brain is invaluable. It has no value. Right? It's invaluable, immeasurable. Right? So skills, okay, employees, talent, employees' knowledge. Yes, those are assets because we can use them and it brings in a lot of future economic benefits, correct? Employees' knowledge, employee skills, right? These all obviously assets. We can obviously consider them as assets because it brings in a lot of future economic benefits. But listen. We cannot show that as an asset, although it brings in a lot of future economic benefits because we cannot give a value to it. What concept is it? Money measurement concept, right? Okay. Yeah, man, I just wanted to bloody speak that out of my head. No value. But it's invaluable. Right. Porama people, man. Transaction that can be measured in monetary terms are included in the financial statements. However, even transaction not measurable in money terms are necessary for management decision making. You know this, right? We only include the financial transactions. We only include the financial information in the financial statement. But there are information that are not of financial nature, but they are still important for decision making. You know that, right? Some examples are given. First one is financial. Second one is financial because we got the rupee value in it. Third one is not financial. Fourth one is not financial. Fifth one is not financial. Sixth one is financial because we have rupee value in it. Right. The last concept for the day, I want to finalize it before I send you all home. Periodic concept. What is periodic concept? Let me quickly finalize it and then I will let you all go home. Because obviously the time is running. And by the way, guys, something to say. Yeah, I'll tell it to you before I send you all home. Because you wouldn't like me saying that, by the way. Right. Yes. Periodic concept. What is periodic concept? Listen. Every company starts and ends a financial year. Every business prepares their financial statement for a financial year. Every business prepares their financial statements for a financial year. Generally speaking, that financial year, let's say it's 2026. If it is 2026, it will start on 1st of January 2026, generally speaking, and it will go until 31st December 2026. So now this business prepares the financial statement every year, and you call it a financial year. Financial year 2026, when does it start? It starts on 1/1/2026. And it's going to go all the way until 31st December 2026. And every transaction that happens in between this two period or this two timeline or these two dates are going to be recorded. So this is one financial year that is often tested in your final exam. And there is also another financial year your examiner prefer using. There is also another financial year your examiner prefer using. We call it 2026/2027. We call it 2026/2027 financial year. 2026/2027 financial year, it starts on 1st of April 2026 and goes until 31st March 2027. Do you see there are 2 years interceding? Yeah, right. We got the year 26 and year 27 interceding, clashing, or interconnecting in this year. That's why you call it 2026 and 7. That's why you call it 2026/2027 financial year. And here, everything in between gets recorded in the financial statement. Am I driving the point across to you? So generally speaking, some businesses will start on January, goes until December. Some business starts on April and goes until March. So, financial statements are prepared. Financial statements are prepared for a year, for a specific period of time. That year might start on January. It may also start on April. Other than these two starting points, there are other starting points, but it is never tested in your final exam. In your exam, it's either going to be January or April. They might not give you June, July, nothing as such. Always keep in mind, it's either 2026 starting from January, going all the way until 30th December. If not, it's going to be 2026, 2027, starting from the 1st of April, going all the way until 31st March. Did you understand me? Right? That's periodic concept. What is it? Periodic concept. Now, guys, I'm going to quickly tell you right, I'm going to quickly walk you through some things, okay? So imagine year starts on 1/4/2026. If it starts on 1/4/2026, when does it end? 31st March 2027. You call it 2026/2027. Again, we are going to start on 1st of April 2027. It goes until 31st March 2028. We call that year 2028/2027. Again, we start on 1st of April 2028, going all the way until 31st March 2029. We call it 28/29. Do you see? This is how the timeline goes. Starts on April 6, 2026, ends on 31st March 2027. 26/27. Again, starts on 1st of April 2027, goes until 31st March 2028. You call it 27/28. My bad. Okay. Again, starts on 1st of April 2028, goes until 31st March 2029. You call it 28/29. Right. There you go. That's how the periodic concept works. What do they talk about here? Let me quickly show you and I'll leave you all go home. Periodic concept provides the basis for dividing the continuous lifetime of the business into periods and prepares the financial statements for each period. Can you see? What is this, Puta? Continuous lifetime. What is it? Continuous lifetime. What did I do? Divided into period 2026, 2027, 27, 2028, 28, 2029, and I've been preparing financial statements for each period. Period 26, 27, a financial statement. For 27, 28, a financial statement. And for 28, 29, it's going to be another financial statement. Right, there you go. Keep going, keep going. Right. When presenting the elements of the financial statement, it is necessary to observe the periodic concept. The financial statement are prepared according to the periodic concept. So you can quickly make a note. Accounting period, it can start on 1st of January 2026 and may end on 31st December 2026. You call it a 2026 financial year. You call it a 2026 financial year. It may also start on 1st of April 2026 and it may go until 31st March 2027. You can call it a 2026/2027 financial year. There you go. That's periodic concept to you, right? So guys, that's the end of today's session. We've learned a lot, to be honest. I taught you initially an introduction about concepts and sole trader, and I told you why concepts and sole trader becomes very important in your accounting syllabus. And then we looked at the accounting concepts, accrual, and all the adjustments related to accrual. We looked at it in numbers. I also gave you a lot of homeworks. And then after completing them, I also taught you the money measurement concept, periodic concept, business entity concept. So we've completed 4 concepts today, along with a lot of sums. We also understood the importance of this lesson. Probably some of you might have ordered the tute during the Eid time. Everyone was on leave. The last set of tutes were dispatched yesterday. Hopefully you'll receive those tutes in a couple of days. Guys, what I wanted to tell you before I finish off the class was this. Next week onwards, I'm going to do the class for 3 to 3.5 hours. Okay, don't worry with a break. With a break, I'm going to go for 3 to 3.5 hours. Okay, along with a break, probably we'll get like a 15-minute break. Okay, so we go until 3 to 3.5 hours because I need to do more. And I'm also planning to start off a free MCQ paper class. I'm also planning to start off a free MCQ paper class for 2027 student. I call it the MCQ speed runner. Normally I call it the MCQ speed runner. What do we do is every day, not every day, every week, I'll be dropping a set of MCQs in the group. You have to do those MCQs and keep it ready. And we will be discussing the MCQs in the same week, right? That way we can practice as many MCQs as we can, and we can get ready with it. We can obviously get ready with it. This is a long awaited, this is a long awaited request by many students in 2027 batch. Sir, aren't we starting an MCQ program? Of course, we will be starting an MCQ program for you, and it is done for you completely free. We are not going to charge you anything. We are going to do it completely free for you, right? I believe it is going to be good for all of you. Your honesty today, we're a level. Right. So guys, we are going to go 3 hours probably. Yeah? 3 hours kiyanne, we start at 7:30 game. Okay, next week we start at 8. If we start at 8, we go until 10:30, 11. So I can't stay until 11 o'clock. I feel sleepy. Then you go and sleep. That's all I can say, because no pain, no gain, man. You just need to work hard. Okay. It's 2026 leaving in another 2 months. After 2026 leaves, we have to start off the revision. We have to do the paper class. Okay. The MCQ paper class, and we should also do the theory. I'll be extending the theory for 4 hours after some time. Not immediately, but going forward. Okay, I'm waiting until you become the super senior. Now you are like middle senior, no? You got 28 down, you got 26 up, you are in the middle. Once you become the important set of people, I'm going to do a lot to you. So this is something that I wanted to tell you. And also guys, make sure, 8 to 11 Ashfa, probably 8 to 11. Sir, I'm a 26 student. Which lesson is going on? 26, we are doing Sumaya BEP, break-even point. Why, Mariam? What's the problem? Why are you sending me emojis? I stay awake So no issues. Yeah, let's stay awake a little, guys. And also, guys, uh, you're going to have your term test very soon. Okay, term test one. As I already told you, I don't want anyone of you to take the term test lightly. And I was quite disappointed as well because I don't hold grudges, but I was pretty much disappointed. Last time for the business unit test, I had only not for business unit test. Last time for the accounting unit test, we had only 8 or 9 people attending. There is about 20 plus people. I was honestly disappointed big time. Okay, guys, listen to me. If you pay respect to me as a teacher, right, I do not actually believe in words. I believe in action. Actions speak louder than words, right? You showing up to the live classes, that's a way of showing tribute to me as a teacher, right? You show up to the unit test, whether you get 30 or 50, you respect the fact that I keep a unit test. You respect the fact that I take the papers and mark it for you. You respect the fact that I revert the marks back to you without asking for any extra payment, right? So Ade, he does all those things for you. I should not take those unit tests for granted. And showing up for the exams also a way of paying tribute, a way of paying respect to your teacher, right? Anyone can say, I love Nifran teacher. Everyone can say, oh, we talk about you all the time. But the real love is expressed through your actions, right? I love you. That's why I'm starting off the free MCQ program. I love 2027 batch. That's why I'm starting off the free MCQ program next week. I'm not even going to charge a penny from you, but I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to do MCQs every flipping week, right? That's my way of showing love. I'm not going to go out and tell everyone that I love 2027 online batch. My way of showing love, my love language is my action. Likewise, guys, when I saw you not attending the unit test, I was absolutely hurt. My admin was sending me a picture of the number of participants. I was like so upset. Why didn't the people show up? And I'm taking all this effort, bringing an admin, putting an invigilator, paying for the paper marker. Why these people are not even showing up? That was very much disappointing. I believe this should not happen the next time. And also, guys, make sure that you show up to the live sessions. Okay, I know this recording is going to be watched by a couple of people. Make sure that you show up to the live sessions. If you participate in the live session, that week your task is over. But if you keep on procrastinating, saying that you are going to cover it up through the unit from the recordings, Kiela, the recordings will get piled up at one point. You'll have access to, not you'll have access to, you'll have, let's say a task of 20 recordings to go through. You will not be able to catch up. And trust me, the level of absorption that you're going to have while sitting for the live class is not going to be there in watching the recording. So for God's sake, do not miss out the live classes. Make sure that you participate. That 2 hour allocated for the classes, man. That's again a way of showing respect to the class, right? Just not, this is not applicable for everyone, but like, is sir talking about me or is sir talking about someone else? If it is like, no, it is not me he's talking about, then don't worry. But if you get that grudgy feeling, Ade, sir is talking about you, then I'm talking to you, right? Make sure that you show up to the live classes. Make sure that you show up to the unit test. Please, we just have to make this a big win. We want the 2027 people to win big. That's why I've been making a lot of effort. I'm also increasing the classing time for 3 hours. I'm not even going to charge you anything more than what I'm charging right now. A free paper class for you without any charges. Another 1 hour extension to the theory class without expecting 1 rupee from you as a return. So this is my way of showing love to you. And I believe you will also make sure that you show up to the unit test and everything next time. Thank you very much for joining. I will meet you up next week. Until then, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sumaya ratios are finished. By the way, you can get the recordings if you want. You can go to the website and you can get the recordings. Thank you, Shada. Thank you, Sumaya. You're welcome, Mariam in Ocean. That's fine, Mariam Mustak. Don't worry, don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. Next time. Okay. Okay, Amika. Bye bye. Shazna, you're welcome. You're welcome, Shaira. Take care then, guys. See you all. Kudos.